Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 52, noes 79.
The resolution is lost. Mr. Montesano.
I offer the following resolution, waive its reading, move its immediate adoption, and request the opportunity to briefly explain it.
The clerk will read.
Resolution number 838, Mr. Kolb, Assembly Resolution amending Section 9 of Rule 5 of the Assembly Rules in relation to staff, materials, and other perquisites.
Mr. Montesano on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This resolution would amend our existing rule regarding the additional allowances provided members in majority and minority committee, subcommittee, and task force leadership positions. Specifically, our proposal ties the leadership allowance to the allowances provided for members in special positions set forth in legislative law. For example, Legislative Law Section 5 provides the chairman of the Assembly Health Committee an allowance of $15,000 and the ranking member of that committee $9,500. In this instance, the ranking member should receive an allowance for staff and other prerequisites that is 63.3% of the additional allowance provided to the committee chair. This modest proposal would ensure the fair allocation of resources to members in leadership positions. While ranking members of the committees do not share all of the responsibilities of committee chairs, they do in fact have similar responsibilities. They must have sufficient staff and resources to review all bills that are referred to their committee and perform the same fair-minded analysis and thorough oversight functions as the majority chair. The current system of allocating resources is unjust and disproportionate. It punishes just not our members, but also the constituents they serve. Simply stated, there needs to be a fair allocation of resources for Assembly members to fulfill their official duties. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The clerk will record the vote. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 42, noes 81.
The resolution is lost. Mr. Goodell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I offer the following resolution, waive its reading, move its immediate adoption, and request the opportunity to explain it.
Clerk will read.
Resolution number 839, Mr. Kolb, Assembly Resolution amending Rule 1 of the Assembly Rules in relation to a vacancy in the office of the Speaker.
Mr. Goodell on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, my colleagues. Last year, we went through the process of selecting a new speaker. And during that process, it became apparent that we could improve the process in the event we do it again. Now, the last speaker served for 20 years, so maybe we're taking a far-sighted view of this opportunity to improve the process. This resolution has 4 components. The first component is that the majority leader would serve as the acting speaker in the event of a vacancy until a new speaker is selected. And I trust the majority leader supports that concept, as I trust the rest of my colleagues do as well. This is different than our current rules, which enable the majority leader to serve as acting speaker only until we reconvene. And the problem with the existing rules, until a new speaker is selected, all of our work grinds to a halt because the majority leader's authority lasts only until we reconvene. So under this amendment, the majority leader would continue to serve as speaker as we go through that careful, deliberative process of selecting a new speaker. The second aspect of this resolution is to provide that the candidates for a new speaker be available to the members in open session to answer questions about their background, their objectives, their views, their goals, their objectives. The same type of process that each one of us goes through when we run for election. And I believe in that type of electoral process. I believe in that open exchange and questioning process. And I think it's healthy for us when we run for re-election. And it would certainly be healthy for us as an institution if our speakers or candidates for speaker went through that process. Third, this resolution would allow each of us up to 2 minutes to explain our vote. And this is a great opportunity for us to extol why we support a new speaker or extol the virtues of some other candidate, but it gives us that opportunity. And last, it puts an 8-year term of office in for the speaker, only as he serves as speaker. In other words, he could be an assembly member for 40 or 50 years, but only serve 8 consecutive years as a speaker. And the purpose of that is to prevent too much power in one person without the opportunity for other leaders to come forth with new vision and new energy and new enthusiasm. So I believe this resolution reflects the role of the majority, respects the responsibility we've already conferred on the majority leader, provides for a smooth transition and an open, transparent process in the event we need to make a change. So I urge all of you to join me in supporting this resolution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The clerk will record the vote. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 39, noes 79.
The resolution is lost. Mr. Blankenbush.
Mr. Speaker, I offer the following resolution, waive its reading, move for immediate adoption, and request the opportunity to briefly explain it.
Clerk will read.
Resolution number 841, Mr. Kolb, Assembly Resolution amending Section 4 of Rule 4 of the Assembly Rules in relation to public hearings.
Mr. Blankenbush on the resolution.
Thank you. In this time of much-needed reform, we must provide the public greater access to our committee process and finally bring about the meaningful reform desired by all New Yorkers who support the cause of good government and enhanced transparency, while increasing respect for this House and all who serve in it. That starts with the public fully vetting legislation on intense issues. This amendment would require a committee chairperson to call a public hearing upon a petition signed by 1/3 of the members of the committee. Neither conference has an absolute monopoly on good ideas, and we all benefit from the public hearings on controversial and complex legislation or issues. This amendment would empower committee members to call for public hearings should they feel that additional input is needed on, or the public genuinely wants to be heard on important legislative matters, while preserving the understanding that majority rules. The best input we as legislators receive is from our constituents we represent. By bringing greater openness to the legislative process through public hearings, we would be giving every single New Yorker an opportunity to have their voice heard. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Ra, do you want to speak on this resolution?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, on the resolution. Just quickly, because I think this is an important opportunity to bring this up. As we sit here in this chamber, over 2 years ago, as the parents, teachers of this state saw all these changes going on in their education system and wanted an opportunity to be heard, members of the minority, asked for that opportunity, that we would do public hearings. And unfortunately, those calls weren't answered. So we had to go out on the minority, do it on our own, put together a report which looks a heck of a lot like the report that just came out from the governor's task force. So as we wait to see what the governor proposes this Wednesday, and we hope to push forward for pieces of legislation as we did in a plan we unveiled yesterday, remember that we're probably 2 years behind, or probably more, behind where we would be if rules like this were in effect, so that when we see something that the public is asking us to respond to, we have the opportunity to go out and make sure their voices are heard. I urge a yes vote on this rules change. Thank you.
The clerk will record the vote. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 41, noes 79.
The resolution is lost. Mr. Hawley.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I offer the following resolution, waive its reading, move its immediate adoption, and request the opportunity to briefly explain it.
The clerk will read.
Resolution 842, Mr. Kolb, Assembly Resolution amending Section 7 of Rule 3 of the Assembly Rules in relation to the reading of bills.
Mr. Hawley on the resolution.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've all read the editorials over the past number of years that have expressed displeasure with the legislature debating and voting on controversial and complex bills in the middle of the night. New Yorkers also share those very same and real concerns. The message of necessity leaves the legislature with insufficient time to review and properly consider such legislation, and just as important, the public with insufficient time to review and comment as well. These are fair observations. We should not abuse the message of necessity process that really circumvents the aging process for legislation. Messages of necessity should be used and approved by this body only when time truly is of the essence, not because of artificial deadlines or political expediency. While the rules currently provide that messages of necessity must be approved by a majority vote in the Rules Committee, we believe these extraordinary measures should only be taken when approved by 2/3 of the entire membership of this Assembly, 100 out of 150. The public, the media, and each of us deserves no less. Again, let's take a step toward greater transparency in this House by ensuring that we only use or accept the message of necessity process when absolutely warranted, and that we don't unduly interfere with the public's ability to review legislation before it's voted on. I strongly encourage all of your consideration and support of this message.
The clerk will record the vote.
That was passionate, Steve. Somehow I don't think it's
Don't say that. Just see how it goes. Okay?
all right.
I'm with you.
I'll help you count.
You with me?
I'll help you count.
Blank and blue. So, I saw, we're watching. Senator. I'm not voting. I just came.
This little boy is so
His little boy?
oh my God. He's so cute.
My friend Joe was not that fun anymore. He's back in now. I do. I have been keeping track. We've got 42 Goodell is the lowest. 89, 41. I don't know.
Oh, Goodell didn't even get all